Naughty Dog, a name synonymous with gaming excellence. From the thrilling adventures of Nathan Drake to the emotional turmoil of Joel and Ellie, this studio has created some of the most beloved games of all time. Critics have showered them with praise, and their storytelling is often considered among the best in the industry. But behind the scenes, things aren't as perfect as they seem. Beneath the cinematic storytelling and award-winning gameplay lies a darker reality, one filled with brutal crunch culture, workplace controversies, and allegations of mistreatment. So what is the true cost of Naughty Dog's success? And is the studio paying too high a price for its ambition?
There's gotta be enough.
The term crunch culture is one of the gaming industry's worst-kept secrets. It refers to the intense and unrelenting overtime that developers are often forced to endure to meet tight deadlines. And at Naughty Dog, crunch isn't just a phase, it's a way of life. Former employees have spoken out about the relentless pressure to work late nights and weekends. Stories of 80 to 100-hour work weeks have surfaced, painting a picture of a studio where employees are expected to push themselves to the limit, often at the cost of their health and personal lives. One anonymous developer once said, "If you don't put in extra hours, you start feeling like you don't belong here." But what makes Naughty Dog's crunch culture even worse is its structure. Unlike most game studios, Naughty Dog has no traditional management hierarchy. Instead, it relies on a flat structure where developers have more creative freedom. But this also means there's no real oversight to protect employees from burnout. This system often leads to disorganized deadlines, unrealistic expectations, and last-minute overhauls that force developers into excessive overtime. In an investigative report by Kotaku, employees revealed that the studio's perfectionist mindset means they voluntarily overwork just to maintain the studio's high standards. Some employees have described working at Naughty Dog as an honor, but one that comes at a heavy cost. One developer compared working at Naughty Dog to being in a high-performance sports team. You either keep up or you get left behind. Other developers have shared harrowing stories of missing important life events, weddings, birthdays, even the birth of their own children, just to meet Naughty Dog's grueling demands. The pressure is relentless, and in some cases, it's led to serious mental health struggles. One anonymous designer reported suffering from severe anxiety and insomnia due to the intense deadlines. Another developer described crying in their car before heading into work, feeling trapped in an endless cycle of exhaustion. And yet, management never steps in to put a stop to it. In fact, many developers have said that leadership encourages the mindset of pushing yourself to the limit. The studio thrives on a culture where the most dedicated or the most overworked are seen as the most valuable. In October 2017, a former Naughty Dog environment artist, David Ballard, made a shocking allegation. He claimed that he had been sexually harassed by a senior team member at the studio in late 2015. When he reported it to Sony's HR department, he says he was immediately fired. He was also allegedly offered $20,000 to stay silent, an offer he refused. Ballard's story quickly gained attention, and fans began demanding answers from Naughty Dog and Sony. But instead of launching an investigation or addressing the allegations, Naughty Dog released a generic public statement, saying they had found no evidence of the claim. This response raised serious questions. Did Naughty Dog actually investigate the claim, or did they simply sweep it under the rug? Even worse, Ballard wasn't the only former employee to speak out about Naughty Dog's toxic work culture. Others have described an environment where favoritism, power struggles, and workplace bullying were rampant. One former employee mentioned that creative leads often play favorites, giving promotions and high-profile assignments to those they personally like rather than those who deserve it. This has led to a toxic atmosphere where developers feel afraid to speak up against bad leadership. But perhaps the biggest controversy Naughty Dog has ever faced was not about its employees, but about one of its most famous games. When The Last of Us Part 2 was announced, fans were hyped beyond belief. The first game was a masterpiece, and expectations were through the roof. But when the game finally released in 2020, it became one of the most divisive releases in gaming history. So what went wrong? For one, Naughty Dog misled fans with deceptive marketing. Trailers were edited to hide major character deaths and make it seem like Joel played a bigger role than he actually did. This bait-and-switch marketing strategy backfired horribly, leaving fans feeling betrayed. And then, there was the infamous review bombing. Fans flooded review sites with negative scores, attacking the game's story decisions, character deaths, and LGBTQ+ representation. Some players accused Naughty Dog of forcing diversity into the game, while others were just upset about the way the story unfolded. The backlash became so intense that developers received death threats, forcing Naughty Dog to step in and defend its work. But behind the scenes, it seemed like Naughty Dog was already struggling. Leaks from the development process suggested internal conflicts, with some employees disagreeing over the game's direction. The studio that once seemed unstoppable was now facing its biggest controversy ever. So, after all these controversies, have they learned from their mistakes? Or are they doomed to repeat them? Recently, there have been reports of improved work conditions, but crunch culture still exists in the gaming industry. As fans, we need to ask ourselves, at what point does creative brilliance become exploitation? And is the cost of perfection in game development too high? What do you think about Naughty Dog's controversies? Are they a brilliant studio with a dark side, or is the criticism overblown? Let's talk in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the gaming industry. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.